welcome to the DJ Starr Show. This is your host for the final segment for me, Brother Sam Radford. I've been really honored to be able to be a host for you for the last four segments. Of the four segments, I assure you that this is going to be my favorite because I'm joined with two of my sons. I'm joined with Vernon and Aaron, two of my sons, and we are going to share with you a little bit about the future of education. You know, in the previous segments, I was able to share with you about how I got involved in education and what we were able to do as a district parent coordinating council. I'm currently the president of the district parent coordinating council, but I'm in my last term. And so in this segment, what we want to talk with you about is the future. Because really at the end of the day, that's really what it all comes down to. It is about the future. The reason why we dedicated so much time, really the last 20 years of my life, towards education is because ultimately, you know, one of the greatest lessons I've learned from my parents, my elders, is that the fundamental responsibility for any community leader is to make the community better than they found it. And so one of the great honors of my life is that I had the opportunity to meet with the First Lady and the President, First Lady Michelle Obama. And First Lady Obama, she said something that I thought was really, you know, for me, really eye-opening and in a certain way, you know, life-changing. She said that when she went to college, that the majority of people that she went to college with had prepared for their children to go to college before they were born. You know, and coming from a community where, you know, if you preparing for your children to go to college in 10th and 11th grade, you ahead of the game. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, to understand what that meant to prepare for college before you were born was really, it let me know what really the task ahead was. And so kind of what I want to do in this segment is really talk about the need to plan for our children's future. Because you know, our children obviously not in a position to plan for their own future. I didn't know all of that when both of my sons were growing up, but I do know it now that they have children, and I'm much better prepared in terms of preparing for my grandchildren. So what I want to do is give both my sons an opportunity to talk about, you know, the things they see for their children's future, the things that they know that they can prepare for now, so that we can ensure that, you know, we make sure our children benefit from all of our experiences. So I'm gonna start over here with the older of the two, my son Vernon.
Yeah, but for the most part, it's just getting the idea of planning now for the future. Like in the past, before, like I probably learned in the last year, more than last year than I have my entire life, that the work I have to put in now is going to reap benefits for the few, like multiple years down the line. Whether it's I put a little bit of money up here, or I try to try to gain it, whatever opportunities I can to develop passive income. I just want to put all the work in now so that the seeds will grow later.
All right. And here's my son, younger of the two, Aaron.
I want to just reference to something like my dad been teaching us. We have weekly meetings with our my other brothers that's not here right now, but he told us something called the Law of Three. It's law of fate, law of will, law of accident, and I just want to get to a place where my kids are just already have an establish something that they don't have to work that, like maybe I had to. Just like when they coming up, they can just know that they can go to college at any choice or whatever they want to be, instead of having they have to like think about it or try to do it themselves. That I already established that for them. So stuff like that.
And really, that is the goal. The goal is that we have a college-going culture in our community. We turn around education in a way that people expect to become masters of their craft. They expect to become professionals at what they do. This whole idea, this poverty mindset that we gonna just survive and just make it, education is meant to change that. And so that's really what our investment is. Our investment is that, you know, we grinded it out. You know, I did what I had to do, my sons did what they have to do, but we gotta do better for our children. We gotta do better for our grandchildren. And so we are. So we're not leaving that to chance. So the time that I've dedicated to the District Parent Coordinating Council on a district-wide level, as much as it has been for every child in the city, you know, my grandmother always say, charity begins at home and spreads abroad. My first commitment is to my family, and wanting my family to benefit from the hard work, but ultimately having my family come together to benefit the whole community. I told you in the first segment, I have a really big family. I have 15 children, 26 grandchildren, and we want to make sure that all of us come together and actualize our full potential, and make a meaningful contribution to life. None of us are here forever. We only got a certain amount of time, and so we got to make sure that every day counts. We got to make sure that education really we get a return on an investment. A lot of people don't know that the word education comes from the Latin word educere. It means to draw out. Education ultimately should draw out of everyone the best of who we are. The work that we've been trying to do as a district mayor and coordinating council is really to try to create an education environment that really brings out the best of who we are on an individual level, on a family level, on a collective community level. So ultimately, the opportunity that we have now that we didn't have in the past is that we can use education in a way that's transformative. When I was going to school happened in the classroom, sitting in front of a teacher, in front of a blackboard. Now, what is school like? What is the modern day school like? Do you sit in front of a teacher in front of a classroom, or can you learn that stuff in a different way? What is the difference?
I mean, there's thousands of how-tos from YouTube. A lot of people learn from tablets. It's more interactive. It's more options available to you.
It's online school. It's online school now, so you don't got to go to school. So.
And I watch how Aiden, with stuff that Aiden do on his tablet, you know what I'm saying?
So it's just a whole different thing. He's 3 years old, and he just know how to unlock my phone and go straight to his app and just learn from his app. So it's just amazing.
And so education really is not about us teaching our children, but having our children become self-learners. And we in a time where now self-learning is the norm. Kids pick up these computers. This right here is a whole television studio. Kids pick them up and they self-learn. They go get the knowledge. They don't wait for somebody to come bring them the knowledge anymore. So I think we are living in a special time. And so, I'm really, really thankful and honored that DJ Starr chose us to be able to host these 4 segments. I hope that you learned a little bit about us and our family. I hope you learned a little bit about the District Mayor and Coordinating Council. And ultimately, I hope that you got something that can make your life better. DJ Starr, thank you for inviting us to be a host. We really enjoyed the 4 segments we got to do. So thank you for watching, and tune in to the DJ Starr Show next time.
And you are watching the DJ Starr Show. Hey.
Good evening. Welcome to the DJ Starr Show. We're very happy to have you here tonight. I'm Eileen Nowak. I am Department Director for Parish Outreach and Advocacy for Catholic Charities of Buffalo. I'm here tonight with Rosa Fernandez, and we are going to give you some information about the different programs that are available through Ladies of Charity as well as through Catholic Charities for people who have special emergency needs. Rosa, can you tell me what your position is at Catholic Charities?
Sure. So I do SNAP outreach, and I'm the program assistant for Central Intake.
Could you explain to me and the viewers what SNAP actually means and how that can be utilized by people?
Sure. SNAP is the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, as it is sometimes known, food stamps. Essentially what that means is it's food assistance for families or single individuals. Essentially what we do as an agency is we are able to offer advocacy for the SNAP program. We help people fill out applications, we send it into the Department of Social Services, and then we advocate for clients if the need arises.
Good. Now, I also understand that you do workshops or presentations of some sort for people to know about this.
I actually do what's called a financial empowerment workshop. I started with the agency through financial education. That was sort of the cornerstone of how I started with the agency, and that sort of remained a huge cornerstone as I've continued on. So I do the financial empowerment workshops where we cover banking, budgeting, credit 101. We talk about a lot of topics over the course of 2 hours. And then what makes us a little different, what sets us aside from other places in the community where they might be teaching financial education, is that we feel as though our program empowers people to sort of move forward, make decisions that will affect their finances in a positive way. And we're also able to offer a $10 cash incentive. We hold those at 525 Washington Street in downtown Buffalo. We do those at least once a month, and it usually falls on the 3rd Thursday of the month. So,
Could they call there to find out when that would be available to them?
Absolutely. If you have any questions about either the SNAP program or the financial education program, you can contact me, Rosa Fernandez, at 856-4494, extension 308, or you could just ask for Rosa.
That's great. Now, also, I understand at that same building, we also work together, Ladies of Charity, as well with the basic emergency needs programs there. Could you talk a little bit about what happens with that?
Sure. Central Intake is sort of known as the ER for Catholic Charities. That's what we call it, the emergency room for Catholic Charities. What that means is that people can walk in Monday through Friday during regular business hours, so 9 to about 4 p.m. I think is when we start taking our last applicants, and they can come in with emergency needs. So what that means essentially is your basic needs, food, clothing, somewhere to stay. If we can't help them, we refer them to a program that can help them. And the way that we partner up with Ladies of Charity is that we do referrals for a fresh start, clothing referrals. We refer for the layette set as well. Mm-hmm. We work very closely, and it's a really great relationship. Because a lot of people, that's one of the main needs that they have, specifically for the clothing. And the Fresh Start is such a huge thing that we see a great need for, and we do so many referrals a day. You probably know the numbers better than I do, but I know that whenever I've helped out at the front, it's been a huge number of people that have been utilizing the Fresh Start program because of either a flood or a fire or they're fleeing domestic violence, or what we're seeing now is a huge uptick in the numbers from bed bugs, unfortunately. So
yeah, that is an unfortunate problem.
Yes.
Yes, you're right. The numbers are astronomical, actually. I've been here 27 years with Ladies of Charity, and when I first started, we did maybe 3 fresh starts in a week, and now we probably do about 10 to 15 a day.
Yes.
So our numbers have gone up considerably. Yes, which is sad, but the good news is that there's people like you there to help out with the financial piece, so they know how to spend their money a little bit better, and there's people like us available in our organization to be able to help them with the household items and the clothing and the layettes and all that type of thing as well. What other kinds of assistance can the staff help out with when they come to 525 Washington?
Sure. So when we talk about the basic needs, that obviously covers food, clothing, things of that nature. But one of the main things that we see a lot of people coming in for is utility assistance. They have a shut-off notice. They don't know what to do, or maybe their utilities have been shut off for a while.
Sure.
So they come in asking for assistance, and there are a few programs that we help with. One of the main ones is Neighbor for Neighbor, and that's, a few places do it in the community, but I like to think that we're one of the ones that do it really, really well. So the Neighbor for Neighbor is a big one. The Care and Share usually helps with electric, specifically. That's what we're seeing. And we also just walk them through the process about how they can communicate with the Department of Social Services and get services that they would need. A lot of times people come in and they don't realize that they can talk to the Department of Social Services, or that they can get needs met through the Department of Social Services. And so we're sort of there to guide them in the right direction.
So if someone comes down to the office, what should they be bringing with them so that they would be able to maybe get help sooner than later, so they're not sent home to get more paperwork?
Absolutely. One of the things, the main thing that you're going to need when you come down is proof of your situation. So emergency. If you are experiencing an emergency, you would have to provide proof of what emergency you're going through. So a lot of times that means what income is coming into the household, who is a part of the household, what the emergency is. Did your fridge die? Did you experience a fire? Was there a flood in your household? So we just ask you to provide proof of your emergency when you do come in. A lot of times that means identification, Social Security, proof of income for the last 30 days, and then a gas bill or electric bill if that's what you're coming in for as well.
Do they need to say how many people are in their family as well, children, adults, that type of thing, so that you know the basic needs of the whole household?
Absolutely. If we know what the household is comprised of, it helps us to make better, more informed referrals. A lot of the times for adult members of the family, we'll refer to Ladies of Charity. Sometimes for younger kids in the household will refer to Harvest House, and that really depends on the makeup of the family. So.
Well, we do have a lot of different programs available, and I think that we're always very welcoming to people, whether it be downtown at the 525 office or one of our other several offices that we have. And I noticed that you have pineapples on your shirt today, and that means welcome. So that's what we do. We try to welcome people when they come in.
Hello, I'm Sam Radford, and you're watching the DJ Starr Show.
Welcome back to the DJ Starr Show, and we are here today with Erin M. Moss, mental health counselor here at 770 Niagara Falls Boulevard here in Buffalo, New York. We're so excited about her new location, and we want to say hello to Erin. How are you, girl?
Hi, I'm good. Thank
So
you
welcome
so much
back.
for coming. Yes.
Welcome back. Oh my God, it's beautiful, beautiful space you have.
Thank you.
You're excited?
I am.
I know you are. You have
Things
to
are
be.
moving.
Is it?
Sessions have started. Yeah.
Good for
It's
you.
week 2.
Week 2.
Yeah, week
Week
2 is a
two,
new
guys.
location. Yeah.
Excellent, excellent. So before we get into your move and all that stuff, talk a little bit about what inspired you to become a licensed mental health counselor.
Wow. I actually didn't set out to become a counselor.
Oh, wow, okay.
I went to University of Buffalo originally for pre-med. I thought I was going to be a dentist. I
Oh,
really
wow.
loved going to the dentist as
Right.
a child. I was like, I'm going to be a dentist. But I didn't quite like biology at 8 o'clock in the morning. So I had to really figure out what it was that I wanted to do. And
Okay.
about sophomore year, I met with kind of like one of those career counselors or something at school.
Gotcha.
And we really narrowed down that I love to help people. And I guess I never thought of that as a profession. I took my first helping course and I literally moved from the back of the classroom to the front.
Did you?
People were asking to study with me, and I found my niche. And from there
Wow.
on, I knew that I wanted to be a counselor. At that time, I didn't know what type of counselor,
Okay.
but I knew that this was what my destiny was. Yeah.
So you didn't really know what type of counselor you wanted to be, but you fell into mental health. How did that happen?
You know, I thought initially I wanted to do school counseling because I
Oh,
really
okay.
liked working with the tweens and the teens, and actually did an internship at a school, which I thought was really good. 2 different Buffalo public schools.
Okay.
And I loved working with the kids, but I didn't quite like the idea of working in a school and how, you know, certain things were structured. I wanted to have my own creative flow, and I wanted to be able to work with all people. When you work with a
Gotcha.
kid, you got to work with a parent, and there was only so much that I could do in the confines of the school.
Okay.
And so that's how then I looked into, you know, what would give me the most reach. And
Awesome.
I felt that the mental health counseling profession really spoke to me.
That is phenomenal. Oh my goodness. That's
Thank
great.
you. Thank you.
So we're going to fast forward a little bit, and we're here at 770 Niagara Falls Boulevard in this beautiful space. So how did you find this place?
Wow. I mean, it just came together. I
Wow.
mean, I think the best things that happen to me, I don't plan.
Gotcha.
I
Okay.
actually thought that I was going to move in the wintertime. The location that I was at, downtown Buffalo,
Right.
it would have been 2 years there come winter. And I said, oh, I'm going to find another space. And I happened to just go online one day and just kind of look around, and I spotted this and I called.
Okay.
And it was just perfect. So, you know, I then went to go see it, and I said on the spot, I want it. So, but that's what I did at the other spot. I said I want, and when I know it, I just go for it, and it moved from there. I wasn't really ready for it, but I said, I can't let this
This
go.
is it. You felt it. You were like, oh my God, this is awesome.
I said, I guess it's time,
Yeah.
God. I guess it's time.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Well, this is a perfect place. I'm telling you, very serene, quiet. You know, it's very peaceful.
Yeah.
So good for you.
Thank you.
So we're going to fast for a little bit more, and we'll get into the fact about what you do a little bit. Okay. People that may, you know, battle with mental health. Okay. Why do you think people are ashamed of coming to get counseling and treatment?
Yeah, that's a loaded question. All sorts of reasons. I think in society we really put a stigma
Yeah.
on mental health, where
agree.
we don't do that with physical health.
Right.
You know, most of us would have no problem going to the doctor or going to an urgent care facility if we had anything from a hangnail to somebody had an STD. You know,
Right,
the really big thing, you would go to the doctor. You know, and there's no shame in that.
That's true.
But when it comes to mental health, whether it
Uh-huh.
be something very serious or something like, you know, a mild anxiety, we don't ask for help. We think that that's a weakness.
We do. I totally agree.
Yeah.
I totally agree.
And so I think there's so many different things also cultural-wise that tie into that as well, that
interesting.
stop people from going in to get help for their mental health needs.
Real question. Is it a fact or a myth that men do not like to receive mental health counseling?
Hit me with it. Well, I don't have the statistics, so I cannot speak on this as a fact.
Gotcha. Okay.
But I will say that I do tend to see a lot more women. I have had, you know, several men that have come into counseling.
Okay.
But I think again that ties into society, and
That stigma.
we say males are supposed to be strong
Right,
and
right.
the head of the house and the leader, and you know, you can't show any sign of weakness. And so
That's
if we
true.
already are talking about the stigma on mental health and that being associated with a weakness, it would make sense then why a man wouldn't want to go into counseling with that double fear of, okay, this is already something that's not accepted, and also that would bring out the weakness in me as a man. You know,
Gotcha.
and so sometimes to kind of break that as well, you know, I will refer a lot of men to a male counselor
Oh,
because,
interesting.
you know,
Okay.
maybe that's a better dynamic, you know,
Right.
and they'll be able to understand their needs more. Some men, though, prefer to see a woman counselor.
Okay.
Yeah, so I don't know the exact stats on that,
Right.
but I do know you're right. There is a stigma with men
It
receiving
is.
counseling as well.
I totally agree with you. So what's your contact information here for those that want to
Yeah, okay, so you can reach me by phone at 716-507-1124, by email at erinmmossprivatepractice@gmail.com, and you can find me on Facebook, Erin M. Moss Mental Health Counseling Private Practice, and before that it's facebook.com.
Awesome. Over here in the corner, you have Erin Favorite Things. Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, that was a vision that I had for this
Okay.
new space.
Okay.
I've been doing session for so long, and I thought, what if clients had a place to get all the things that we talk about? So you'll
Awesome.
see that I have beautiful colored journals. One
Yeah,
says, this is her
see.
story, faith, hope, love.
Uh-huh.
I have bracelets that say live, laugh, love, or fearless, and all these types of things. Bags,
Amazing.
but things that a person can get to uplift them, or something that they could use to kind of do their homework. You give homework
Gotcha.
assignments sometimes. And this isn't really about me so much of making a profit.
Right.
I just wanted the stuff to be conveniently located for people. Nothing on that shelf will ever be over $10. So
Gotcha.
yeah.
That's pretty smart. That's pretty smart, Erin. I'm telling you. I just love your space.
Thank
I'm telling you. Good job. Well, this particular show has come to an end already, but check this out. We're going to have Erin come back, and she's going to do 3 shows for us. So don't worry, you'll see Erin again. All right. Well, this is it for the DJ Starr Show, and watch the show on Friday nights at 10 p.m. and check out Real Teens Real Talk on Saturdays at 8:30 p.m. And always, thank you for watching the show, and I am your